This is a walkthrough video for the Word Module 1 textbook project on creating and modifying a flyer. Now I have already downloaded the start file from Cengage, so we'll just start out reading from the book here and going through the steps. The first thing that it asks us to do is to click View on the ribbon. So I'll click on that. And they're asking us to verify that the Print Layout button is selected, and it is over here. So we're good there. Verify that the zoom level is 100% on the status bar, and we are at 100% here and here, so we're good in both places. Verify that the ruler checkbox is not selected. Now, this is where I'm going to deviate from the rules just a little bit. I really prefer my ruler up there, so I am going to keep mine selected, but if you want to deselect that box, you can, but you don't have to. It will not count anything incorrect or anything like that. And then we want to verify that normal is selected in the styles gallery. All right, and so that's on the home tab. Under the styles group, we've got normal selected, so we're doing good there. All right, the next thing is we need to click layout and click the margins button. All right, and click narrow in the margins gallery to change the margins to the specified settings. So right now I'm on normal, so I need to switch to narrow. So I'll click on narrow, and it just makes the page a little bit wider there for us. Next, we'll go ahead and start typing some text. So go ahead and type house for sale with an exclamation point. Be sure to always include your punctuation there. So, in this case, include an exclamation point. If there was a period there, include that, and so forth. In situations for some of these projects, if you do not include the punctuation that they have, it can count the whole project wrong. For example, for this project, if you do not have the exclamation point there, the whole project will be counted wrong. So be very careful with that. And if you do submit something that counts it wrong, that you're pretty sure you got it right, definitely go back and check for those punctuation marks, and I think you'll find maybe one missing somewhere. All right, go ahead and press enter to move to the next line. All right. Now, next we want to click View on the ribbon to display the View tab. So we'll click on View and click the Page Width button. Now, so we'll click Page Width, and that's under the Zoom group. There we go. Just changes the way our page looks just a little bit. All right. Now, moving on along, I'm going to click Home on the ribbon, and we will select the Show Hide button. All right, and that's the one here that looks sort of like a backwards P. Go ahead and click on that, and it will display the formatting marks like you see there. All right, so go ahead and now and start typing some text. We'll say located in Whispering Oaks subdivision, comma, this cozy home, home with 3 okay, and we'll type BE, and you'll notice here that the text is suggesting bedrooms, and because that's what we want, you can go ahead and hit the tab button on your keyboard, and it will accept the suggestion of bedrooms. Okay, and then the instructions tell us to go ahead and hit the space bar, and we'll continue to type the paragraph of the body. So we'll say, and 2.5 bathrooms provides a warm welcoming feeling throughout. Period, space, listed at only 215,000 with an exclamation mark. Okay. All right, and we'll go ahead and hit our enter button. All right, now next we've got some more text to type, and I will say on this next set that we're typing, there are some typos, so go ahead and type those typos because there is a place to check the spelling and grammar later on. So we'll type features, colon, hit your enter key button there. SPASIUS, that's a typo there, but go ahead and type it that way. Backyard with stone fire pit. And none of these have punctuation at the end. So just go ahead and hit enter. Type the next one. Covered front porch. Whoops. Front porch. Gas fireplace on main, and this is a misspelled word there as well. Floor. Theater room. All equipment types. Oh, sorry about that. All equipment stays with the exclamation point, close parentheses. Close to shopping, restaurants, pool, and also more with an exclamation point. And that's a duplicated word there, but we'll leave both mores in there for the time being. All right, then we'll go ahead and press enter. And you'll notice, we'll come back to this, but several things have been highlighted here as being incorrect. So we'll coming back to that in just a minute. All right, so right click the flag word with the red wavy underline. So that's spacious right here. We'll right click on it. And it's going to give us some suggestions. Now, it should give you the correct word spelling of spacious. Mine is not giving me that, but you should be able to come over here and click on it. If yours gives you the correct spelling of spacious, click on that. If it's not, then go and just fix it on your own. All right. Next, we're going to the main, so gas fireplace on the main floor. Right click on that, and it does give it to me correctly, this one. So go ahead and click on main floor there. Okay, now we're coming under here and also. And so when you have and, you don't really need to have also. So in this case, we can just click the suggestion for and. So and. And then we've still got the more right here. So we can click on, right click on that. And we've got the suggestion for just one more. So click on that. All right. So we corrected spacious. We corrected main. We corrected the also there and also the duplicated more. Okay. Now we've got a blank space here. We need to insert another blank one. So go ahead and just hit the enter button again, and you'll see that we have that extra space in there. And now we need to enter some additional text. So, recent updates, enter. New exterior, vinyl and stone siding, enter. Refinish hardwood flooring, enter. Beautifully landscaped, enter. Fresh interior paint, enter. New energy efficient windows, enter. And then we'll go ahead and type a line that will end up going at the bottom of the flyer that says visit www.a1homerealty.com or call 206-555-2283 for a showing, exclamation point. All right, so no typos on there, so everything should be correct. All right, go ahead and click on File. We'll click on Save As. Click on this PC. And then they want us to save it as a specific file type. So mine is pre-selected to save on my desktop. So if you want to save yours on the desktop, that's fine. Or if you have a special folder you want to save it in. If you click up here where it says desktop, you actually can navigate over here and find where you want to save it. I'm just going to use the navigation right here, but you can do that if you need to. And what we're saving it as is SC_WD_1_ real estate flyer unformatted. Okay, and then come over here and click on the Save button. Actually, one more thing let me add. When we're working on these files, notice that it's already saving it as a Word document .docx. So when you submit the file, it should have the .docx as the file extension. Later on in the project, it actually will list .docx on there, and in Cengage, sometimes it will list that. You do not need to manually type in .docx. It will add it for you automatically. Okay, so don't worry about typing that in, and then just click Save. All right, moving on over in the book. On your keyboard, we'll press Control Home, and it just takes us back up to the top, or you can just scroll up to the top. We'll click on the Design tab. Click on the Themes button here. We want to display facet. And it should be, your screen might look slightly different, but it should be on the first line for sure. The second or third option. For me, it's the third option. Your book actually shows it as the second option, but for me, it's the third. Just be sure to click on facet. Okay, and you notice the text changes for one thing, and then there are some other changes you'll see here in a little bit. All right, go back and click on the Home tab. And we want to center House for Sale. So be sure your cursor is up there at House for Sale and click on the center button, and it should center that on the page. And go ahead and click somewhere here in the Located in Whispering Oaks, that area, that paragraph, and click the center button as well to center that one. All right, now we want to select a line, and we're selecting House for Sale. So come over here somewhere in the left margin, and you'll notice that your mouse will change directions. Notice I'm like normal over here, and then I switch over here, and it's pointing to the right all of a sudden. When you do that, go ahead and click, and it selects that full line of text for House for Sale. All right, with it selected, we want to click on the font size arrow, and we want to change it to 48-point font. So we'll click on the font size arrow here and come down, and we want to change it to 48-point font. All right, it looks huge right now. We have it zoomed in from one of our previous project steps, so it's not quite as big as it looks on the screen right now, but we're getting there in a future step. All right, with it still selected, go ahead and click on your font arrow up here, and we want to change it to Cooper Black. So you can scroll down here. Let's see, where's Cooper Black? There it is, Cooper Black. Okay, and change it to Cooper Black. All right, now with the text selected, we want to change the case to all caps. So with it selected, go ahead and click the button here that has the uppercase A and the lowercase a. You've got some different options here. We're clicking on uppercase. Now we want to apply a preset text effect to the selected text. So we should still have the text selected. Under the font group, there is a little A here that's sort of outlined in blue. It's text effects and typography. All right, click on that. And we want to select the one that's fill white, outline dark green, accent color 2. Hard shadow dark green, accent color 2. And it's most likely this one down here, but definitely verify that. That had fill white, outline dark green, accent color 2, hard shadow dark green, accent color 2. So yours should look like that. Go ahead and select that. All right, then click anywhere else in the document. I'll just click down here to deselect that text. All right. Now that we've done that, we want to click on the accessibility button on the status bar to open the accessibility pane, and that's down here at the bottom. It says Accessibility Investigate. Go ahead and click on that, and a panel opens here on the right side of your screen. And we've got an issue here. Everything looks actually pretty good, but you'll notice the first thing is hard to read text contrast. Go ahead and click on that. That gives you some examples. Now, the book does not have us changing anything yet. But we're coming back to it. Do leave the accessibility pane open for now. Now we want to shade a paragraph, so click somewhere in the paragraph to be shaded, which is the house for sale area there. Okay, and we want to click the shading arrow, which is under the paragraph group that looks like the little paint bucket. All right, click on that arrow there. And we want to click dark green accent to darker 50. So that's dark green accent 2. And then we want to go darker 50. So let's go down to this one. Oops, wrong one. The one down here. Be sure that's right. I'm trying to get it pop up. There we go. Dark green accent to darker 50. Go ahead and click on that. Okay. And when you clicked on that, you'll notice that the accessibility checked off. So you can, now that we're good on that, you can close that accessibility pane. All right. Now they want us to select the located in the Whispering Oaks subdivision paragraph. This time they want us to triple click inside the paragraph to select it. So come down here and click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it selects everything. All right, we want to change the font color here. So come up here and click under the font grouping, and we want to click on that. We're changing it to orange accent 4 darker 50. So there's orange accent 4 darker 50 is the last one. Select that. Now we're changing the font size. Okay, we want to change that to 20. So click on your font area here. We're upping that to 20 point font. And then we're deselecting that. All right. Now we can finally zoom back out. So we're at 182. You can do it several ways, but we'll just do it down here for the ease. We're at 182% right now. I'm just going to click the minus button to take it back down to 100%. And you'll see, like I was saying earlier, that it looks a lot better now. And my mistake there, it actually said leave it at 120%. So we'll bump it back up to 120. All right, so scroll down just a bit so that all of this text down here, the features and the recent updates, all the way down to visit, is displayed on your screen. And we're going to select now all of the text except for visit. So come over here on your margin, right beside of features, here again where your mouse turns to point the other direction. Click and just move your mouse down to highlight everything. And there again, we're not highlighting visit. We're highlighting everything else but visit there. Okay, we're going to change this font size to 18 point. Okay, and we can just click off of that. And now we're just focusing on the features section, not the recent updates section. And we're not selecting features yet either. We're actually just selecting this text here. So click in that left margin and just highlight those. All right, and then we're going to come up here and click the bullets button to make that a bulleted list. Okay. Now it has us play with undo and redo. Now my screen is just a little bit different than the way the book looks. For this, I do not have a undo grouping on my bar. Mine is up here at the top of your page. So if you do have an undo group, use it. But I do not have it, and most of our computers on campus do not have that. So mine is up here on the top of my bar where I can undo a bullet. So if I hit the undo button, I can undo it that way. And then I have a redo button here that will redo it if I need to. All right, now, and if you did not have those for some reason, you can click this little arrow right here to customize the quick access toolbar, and you can add undo and redo as well. All right. Now we're going down here to recent updates, and we're going to number this list. So similar to before, click in the left margin. We're highlighting just those there, not recent updates, just the text under that, but not visit. All right. And we're going to number this list. So click on the numbering button up here under the paragraph group, and we've changed that into a numbered list. All right, now we need to remove the hyperlink. So when we typed www.a1homerealty.com, it turned it into a hyperlink. We do not want to have it as a hyperlink in this case. So come down here, right click on that link and click on remove hyperlink. All right, now while we're down here, go ahead and click on the center button to center that text with the visit www line. All right, and they want us to use the mini toolbar to format this text. So you can really do it either way. We'll go ahead and select the full line. So I'm going to go over to the margin just like before and so click to select that full line. And I have this little toolbar that pops up. It does the exact same thing as the big one up at the top. But what we want to do here is we want to change the font size to 16. So I'll go ahead and change that to 16. And we want to change the font color to orange accent 4, darker 50. So here is my color there for my font color. It's probably already selected, but I'll go up under here, orange accent 4, darker 50, and select that anyway. All right, and then you can just click off of that somewhere. All right, now scroll back up here so that the bulleted list is in your window to work with. And then go ahead and click in front of the all between the opening parentheses mark and the A for the all. And click and drag your mouse over here so that all equipment stays as highlighted. Be sure that you do not have the exclamation point highlighted. All right, and then go and click on your underline button to underline that. Okay, and then you can click off of that. Once again, be sure that that exclamation point and closing parentheses are not underlined. Be sure the opening parentheses is not underlined. Just all equipment stays. All right, now we want to go back up to listed at only $215,000. We want to italicize only. So click in front of the O and highlight the only. And click on the italics button. All right, now scroll back down to our line here, the visit www.a1homerealty.com. Scroll down to that line. And we want to highlight non-adjacent text. So click in front of the www, click in front of that, highlight that, the www.a1homerealty.com. Be sure that that space is not highlighted right here. It's just the actual web address. And hold in the control button on your keyboard and also come over here and highlight the phone number. And there again, be sure that extra space is not highlighted. Okay, and then go ahead and click the bold button so that it bolds that text. And then you can click off of that somewhere. Now click on the File button and click on Save As. Now we're changing this to, we don't have to retype the whole thing, but they want us to change it to SC_WD_1 real estate flyer. And instead of unformatted, we want to change it to formatted. So you can click in here right after the F and backspace 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and type in an F for formatted. And then click the Save button over here. All right. Now we're going to insert a picture now. So we're coming between the features and the recent update section, this blank line right here. So click in the middle there and go ahead and click the center button so that it moves the insertion point there to the center of the screen. And now we're going to insert a picture. So click on Insert, Pictures, and then we'll have some options here. We're going to click on this device. Okay. And then we will scroll to where, or navigate to where this file is saved. I saved mine on my desktop. There it is, the support file. And this is what you should have downloaded from Cengage early on before we started the project. Go ahead and click on that and it will insert our picture. And notice right now it's huge. We'll fix that in just a minute. All right, go ahead and go to the View tab, and under Zoom, click on the button that says One Page. Okay, and that makes it where you can see the picture better. And as you can see, it's quite large. All right, now with the picture selected, click on the Picture Format tab. Now these tabs over here are something that pops up once you select on certain objects, and we've got a picture selected, so that's active now. Notice it's a different color. And over here on the far left or right, excuse me, you'll see the actual dimensions of this object. So it's 6.47 by 7.5. So it's asking us now to click the lower left corner handle, which is down here, and we're going to size it, move it inward to size it to about the way they have it on the screen there. And of course, I didn't get it quite right, and you probably won't either, and that's okay because they give us the other dimensions that they want. And our height should be 2.85. So to get it just the right height that they want, come over back up here where I was showing you before the size is at. And for our height, go ahead and click in that box, type 2.85 and hit the tab button. And it should automatically change it to 3.3. You can change that if you need to manually, but it should, when you hit tab, automatically change it to 3.3. All right, with the picture still selected, under the Picture Styles gallery, go ahead and click the arrow here to the side of it, and that displays more picture styles. We just want to add the simple frame white. There's a lot of different options here, and you can sort of move your mouse around here to see the different ones, but we just want the one simple frame white. So click on that. All right, now the picture still should be selected. We're going to now click on the Picture Effects button. We'll point to Shadow. And we're going to click on Perspective Upper Left. So come down here under the Perspective grouping. It should be the first one there in the Perspective grouping. It's Perspective Upper Left. Click on that. And you'll see this how you have this little shadow coming out from the left side of the page. And then you can deselect the picture from there. All right, now click on the Design tab. I'll click the Colors button. And when we selected that theme earlier, it did come with a special set of colors that we're using. We're getting ready to change that. So once you've clicked on the Colors button, go down to the one that's called Blue 2. It's this one here that says blue with the Roman numeral 2 after it. Click on that, and you'll notice that House for Sale turned blue now, and then the text that we had orange sort of turned this teal color. All right, now go ahead and click on the Page Borders button under the Design tab. You should still be under the Design tab. Click on Page Borders, and this pop-up box should display. Click Box over here on the left side. For the style, I want to come down. We want to double line this one here. Scroll down to the one that's just the double line. All right, for color, we'll click on that, and we want teal, accent 6. It's the one at the very end of the color lines up at the top. Teal, accent 6. Click on that. And then that's all of the settings they want us to adjust. So we'll go ahead and click OK. And you should have this double-lined teal border that displays on your screen. All right, now go ahead and click in front of the word features. And we're changing the spacing before and after paragraphs here. So click on the Layout tab. And on spacing before, we are adjusting that. Right now it's 0. We're adjusting that so that the spacing before is 12 points. So hit the up button, and you'll notice a little additional spacing adds right there. And then they want us to change the spacing after to 0. So right now spacing after is at 8 point. We'll decrease that down to 0. So there's a little space here before the paragraph, no space after features now. Now we're going to do something similar to recent. So go ahead and click in front of the R for recent. Spacing after wants to be 0, so adjust that to 0 for spacing after. All right, and we're not adjusting anything before in this case. So spacing for before and after should be 0. And then we're moving down to the signature line for visit. And we want to adjust the spacing before to 12 points. So up that to 12 point there. Okay. Now, you should notice at this point, your flyer should fit all on one page at this point. If you have it going over to the second page, there is an issue somewhere. So check the spacing at that point. If it's not all on one page, there's probably something that needs to be adjusted. All right. Now, go ahead and click on File, Info, and in the comments section here for add comments, click there. And we want to type CIS 101 assignment. Now keep in mind this course is CIS 110, and I have some students that always want to type CIS 110 in there, but for the purpose of this project, it is grading you based off of having CIS 101. So be sure you get that correct. CIS 101 assignment. Click off of that somewhere. And then you can click the back button up here to go back. You don't have to save anything yet. We're getting ready to do that. Now we're saving an addition of the same document now with the same file name. We're not making any adjustments. So since we're not making an adjustment, we can just come up here to your toolbar and click on the Save button. And then click on File, and close. Now when you do it that way, Word still stays up, but your file has been closed out. And now we want to go back and reopen it, so click on File, Open. And there are several different ways that, because we just closed out of the file, it should be here for you to click on. If not, you can sort of browse through your computer over here on the left side and find it, but it should be here from where we just modified it. So go ahead and click on the file. You should have two files. One is unformatted, one is formatted. You definitely want to select the one that is formatted. So click on that and it should open it back up to the way it was. All right, go ahead and click on View, the View tab, and we're going back to page width again. So click on the page width button, and it makes it really big when we do that. All right, and now we're changing spacious. Go ahead and click in front of backyard and type in big and hit space. So spacious, big, backyard. Okay. Now go ahead and click on the home button. You can double click on the word big again, double click 1, 2, and it does highlight this extra space. That is okay in this case. And come up here to the clipboard and click on the scissors to cut the text. So that just got rid of the big again. Now scroll up just a hair to throughout and go ahead and select throughout. Now in this case, be sure that you do not, there is a period there, be sure that is not selected. We just have the word throughout selected. And we're clicking on the copy button. That's just under the scissors on the clipboard group. Click on the copy button. Come down, or scroll down to fresh interior paint. Click after paint and hit the paste button to paste it. So it should paste it in there, fresh interior paint throughout. You will notice that it is a different color when you do that. And that's okay in this case. Now, go ahead over here. You notice you have a control button here with paste, the clipboard. And if you hover over it, it says paste options. Click on that. And click the second one that says merge formatting. And when you even hover over it, you see that it changes throughout to match the other text. So go ahead and click on that, and it should change it to be throughout. You can hit the escape button on your keyboard to get rid of those options there. All right. All right, now we're going to move some text. So we're dealing with beautifully landscaped now. We're going to move it up to beat number 2. So you can select the beautifully landscaped text over in the left margin. Select the beautifully landscaped text, just go over there and click like you have been doing. And then take your mouse, hold it in, okay? And we're going to move the little line that pops up right before the R. And then release your mouse. And that should move beautifully landscaped up into the number 2 position and move refinished hardwood flooring to the number 3 position. All right, and then just click somewhere to deselect that text. All right, now come down here to our accessibility checker one more time. Click on that. And it's going to tell us that we are missing alt text from our picture. All right, we'll go ahead and click in our box here. And it has a place for us to enter our description now. And we want to actually type in beautifully. Landscaped home with medium hyphen gray vinyl and stone siding, comma, space, a covered porch, comma, space, and a 2 hyphen car garage, period. We'll click the Save button, and notice that has been checked off. Now, what that did is if somebody had an issue, if they were using a screen reader and had an accessibility issue there, that when they got to this image, they would not be able to see what that was. And because we just did that, they're going to have that description available, so a screen reader would be able to tell them what this image said. All right, and then you can just close out of that little accessibility pane. Okay. Just click off that picture somewhere. Go ahead and on your keyboard and press the Control Home button. That takes you back up to the top of the page. Down here on your toolbar at the bottom of your screen, click where it says Read Mode, and that's going to change your page to look a little bit like this. And now we want to switch back to print layout, which is what you're typically used to seeing and the way you usually format a document. And go ahead and click the Save button again. Now we want to print the document. So click on File, Print, and then verify that you have a printer selected. There's mine. And then you have options down here that you can select, and then we'll go ahead and click on Print. Now, I will say you do not have to print this file. It's not part of the grading. So I'm not going to print mine either. But if you clicked on print, it would take you back to the document page. Since I'm not going to do that, and since you don't have to do that, you can click the back button up here and it takes you back to your document. All right, up here in the search box, you can search for anything you need to. We're going to go up here and type margins. And then point to the one that says adjust margins. And you can see there that you could adjust your margins based off of that. If you click Get Help on Margins, go ahead and click on that. It brings up a page over here on, or pane, I should say, on the right side of your screen that provides you some help on margins, including a video, some tips of how to do what you want to do, and then where you can set your custom margins and a button that you can click on for that. So very helpful search box. If you ever don't know how to do something in Word, you can easily do that from there. And then we can just close out of it. And save your file. And you can close out of the document. You're done with the project. Now keep in mind, for Cengage, you will have to add your name to the end of the document for submission. So if you want to do File, Save As one more time, and come here to the end and add your name, just like that, you can. It will ask you to do that when you get ready to submit in Cengage, and then you can save. And it will be ready to submit. That's the Module 1 textbook project. If you guys have any questions, please reach out and let me know.